I'm blinding myself a little bit for this shot, but that's okay. We'll see what this looks like afterwards. I'll either look horrible or fine. Hi guys, it's Taylor. If you saw my video from last week, you would know that I got accepted to a few med schools and I got rejected from a lot. So if you haven't watched that already, go check it out. But today I'm going to run you through which school I ultimately chose and which ones I eliminated. It took an incredible amount of thought. It wasn't a decision I made lightly, so yeah, I'm gonna run you through exactly what school I chose and why. So out of the 3 medical schools that I got into, the first one to be eliminated was Pacific Northwest University. And Pacific Northwest University is a fantastic school, don't get me wrong. If this was the only school I'd gotten into, I would have been happy attending. But there were a few reasons why I decided to eliminate it. This was probably the easiest decision when it came down to getting rid of one. The first reason being that when I took the MCAT, I took it in Yakima, which is the city where this is located. If you don't know, Yakima is in the middle of Washington, and to get there from Seattle, you have to cross the pass. I hate driving as it is, but put me in a situation where there's a literal blizzard going on and feel like I'm about to fall off the edge of the cliff, and that leads to disaster, at least for me. So location was a huge minus for me. Of course, it's a plus that it's in Washington, but given that cross mountain commute, I knew that I was not going to go home as often as I would have liked. Besides location, which isn't the hugest deal in the world, right? A huge reason why I decided to eliminate this school was because of the rotations and kind of the overall mission of the school. The school really emphasized their push for people to go into rural communities and practice primary care. Those in itself aren't horrible things. I'm not opposed to either of them. I'm actually pretty open to doing primary care especially, but I didn't want to limit my options. If I ended up deciding that I loved a specialty in med school, then I wanted to have a school that would also push for that and give me a lot of connections and opportunities to do just that. That being said, a lot of the rotations for 3rd and 4th year are in rural communities, and a lot of the electives are limited, to say the least. So that was the hugest reason. Okay, we're gonna do this fast because the light's kind of changing a lot on me, and I think shadows are starting to appear everywhere on the screen. So here I was left with 2 schools, Western University of Health Sciences down in Oregon and Midwestern University in Chicago. This was the hardest decision to make for me. I spent not months, I only had like a month to make this decision, but I spent a month mulling over this decision in my head, and here is why. So with Midwestern University, I was over the moon when I found out that I got in. I honestly was not expecting to, because my stats were a little bit lower than what they advertise on their website. That being said, I think I was really excited about the prestige and the opportunity that that school would have provided me. The fact that it's in Chicago, which is where I grew up. So I had a familiar place, I would have familiar faces around, and it's a very big program with a lot of facilities. So for that reason, I was very excited about the school. The drawback for me was the money. Like, holy cow. I know that medical school is expensive anywhere you go, but the estimated cost of attendance here was $120K a year or something like insanely ridiculous, something that I would never have been able to pull myself out of. So that was the major con there. On the other hand, I had Western University of Health Sciences located in Oregon, so it's a little bit closer to my immediate family who now lives here in Seattle. They have clinical rotations all over the Pacific Northwest, so that was a huge pro for me there. The main con with this one was that it's located in a rural city. Rural town? Rural community? Whatever. Anyway, point is, I grew up in 2 main metropolitan areas. I grew up in Seattle and Chicago. Did a little bit of switching back and forth throughout my childhood, but those were the 2 main places. So that compared to a town of like 20,000 people, I can't say it was a shock because I haven't done it yet, but I knew that that was going to be a shock. So given that, the school that I ended up eliminating was sadly Midwestern University. It ultimately boiled down to money for me, and at the end of the day, I think both schools are fantastic. They will both provide me the opportunity to go into whatever specialty I'd like. They both have reputable names and good connections and everything of that sort. Ultimately, the cost was a huge deterrent, and thus the reason why I ultimately decided to commit to Western University of Health Sciences. I had to stop filming and wait for like 30 minutes so the light could finally settle into place because the shadows that were coming across were really bothering me. But yes, I am super excited to announce that I'm attending Western University of Health Sciences this upcoming summer. This school was really special to me. The thing that gave this school a competitive edge, I really loved my interview. It was probably the best interview that I had out of the three. They just made an attempt to get us to feel comfortable in the interview. They let us talk to the other med students, they let us talk to each other, icebreakers, things of that sort. It felt very purposeful, very intentional, and this feeling continued into even my visit to the campus, where, just as one example, in the anatomy lab, they don't refer to the, I guess you call them people, bodies, as cadavers. They call them donor bodies, just out of respect for the person and their families. And they even give you access to information like their name, their occupation, their hobbies, what they were passionate about. And they hold an end-of-life ceremony and everything like that. Just felt super nice. The community was super close, and the students that I talked to were so helpful and so nice, and made me feel like I'd feel like this was home. Again, I'm a little bit nervous, especially moving to a more rural area, just moving at all. But I think it'll be exciting. I'm really excited to progress my clinical skill set per se, and to just kind of start the ball rolling on the process to becoming a doctor. So with that, thank you for watching today's video. Please make sure to like and subscribe, and go follow my new Instagram at TaylorQuinnMed. If you'd like to hear all about my stats, journey, GPA, essentially how I got into medical school, stick around. I plan on talking about that next. But otherwise, hope you all are doing well, and I will see you in the next video. Bye.